Hey there, this is Luis Moreno with Simply Health Insurance Agency. Those of you that have Obamacare, an ACA, an Affordable Care Act plan, in 2026, you are going to see some huge changes and not for the better. In fact, some of these changes started at the end of August. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go over those changes with you, but I'm also going to share what you need to do to prepare now for 2026 for that enrollment season that starts November the 1st. But before I do that, do me a favor. Please comment down below. Please like this video so more people can see it. And if you are a subscriber to our channel, I appreciate it. And if you're not, please subscribe because I'm going to be putting tons of tips out there for you guys so that you're better prepared for next year because you're going to see some craziness. What we see now for Obamacare is going to be completely different for 2026. All right, so let's get into this. Here's what you're going to see. Guys, you're going to see some increase in premiums. It's just going to happen. You're going to see some subsidies that may expire because your income is $1 over the limit, and I'm going to go over that limit with you. You may also see, or you're going to see some changes with enrollment and eligibility. So for those of you that are thinking you're going to enroll, you've got to make sure that you enroll during the right time because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get an ACA plan. So I'm going to talk to you about that. All right, so let's start off first with what's going on with the premium. Okay, well, what's going on with this premium right now, guys, is we are under what we call the enhanced subsidies. Biden put that into place for us in 2021. And what happened is more people got assistance at a higher level, which ultimately meant this. A lot of people got $0 premiums. And also people with higher incomes got some assistance. So that's what that means. Now, those enhanced subsidies were in place for 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and even 2025. So currently right now we're under those enhanced subsidies. What's going to happen in 2026 is those enhanced subsidies are not going to stay. The new administration removed them. So they didn't do away completely with the subsidies. What they did is they went back to the standard subsidies that we had before Biden. Now, what does this mean for you? This means your premiums are going to increase. In fact, it could mean two things. Number one is there's going to be a lot of you that are paying $0 right now that you're going to get some sticker shock. What's going to happen is you're going to get a premium on your policy and you're not going to like it. I'll give you an example. We have a calculator that we can run. And right now it's an estimate. But this person was paying under $100 for their health insurance. With the new estimated subsidies that we're going to get next year, goes up to almost $400. That's a pretty big increase. So you're going to have to get prepared for that. Okay, you're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to have to make some movement on your plans. Okay, you may look at some alternative plans. Okay, so you're going to have to figure out what to do. Now, making some of these changes from one level, maybe you have a silver plan and maybe you decide to go to a bronze plan or you go to a gold plan. What's going to happen there is you're going to see some increases in your out-of-pocket. And those increases are huge. One of my clients, where I ran some samples on this, when they're in the silver plan, they have about a $2,000 maximum out-of-pocket. This is the worst case scenario that they're dealing with. Well, if you go to a bronze or a gold, that goes up to almost $9,000. That's a lot of exposure to lower your premiums. But if you've got no choice and you can't pay those higher premiums, you're going to have to do that. So before you make those changes, you want to make sure that you're aware of what you're doing. Okay? Just don't blindly switch to a bronze plan into a gold plan to save money without knowing that your out-of-pocket increase, which means if you go to the hospital, you're going to owe that hospital a heck of a lot more money. You need to be prepared for that. You got to be talking to a good agent who has alternatives for you that can help you with looking at something different or maybe helping you with that higher out-of-pocket. That's where a good agent comes into place. All right, so that's number one, and that's probably the biggest thing that most insureds are going to have to deal with going forward in 2026. Now, remember this: that enrollment starts November the 1st. Okay, just remember that. Okay, if you don't enroll during the period, which starts November the 1st and it ends January the 15th, you are pretty much out of luck. The past administration really relaxed a lot of the rules and it allowed people to get into plans all year long. Well, that relaxation is gone. New administration did away with it. This is my second topic, is enrollment. Let me share with you what I'm dealing with a client right now, and it's very, very unfortunate. Okay, this is the second time that this has happened, but this is what's going on due to the changes that the new administration is implementing. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you. So change number one is this. Let me get the right screen. It takes me a minute to figure this out. Sometimes it's a little complicated. All right, here we go. So I'm going to share this with you. Okay, what you're seeing here, this is somebody who lost their insurance due to not making a payment on their insurance. So their insurance canceled in August. Okay, insurance canceled for non-pay. Now they need it. They've got a scenario here where one of the kids is not doing too well, and it looks like he's going to be hospitalized. And now they're calling, they're freaking out, they're trying to figure out here what they can do. They've called the insurance company to see if they can pay back what they owe. Insurance company said no. Insurance company told them to call the marketplace. They called marketplace. Marketplace can't do anything. Insured calls us, can you help? I'm like, I already know what's going to happen, but let's go ahead and do it. So I submitted her application again, knowing what's going on, and look what we got. Enrollment blocked. We have to submit proof of loss of coverage. And you losing coverage because you didn't pay your bill is not an effect. It's not eligible, or it's not a true cause of loss of coverage. Loss of coverage, what that means is maybe you were working for an employer and you left that employer and you no longer have insurance. You have a 60-day window to pick a new plan under Obamacare. This family here who lost their insurance for non-pay, even though they're within the 60-day window, it doesn't count because it's not a true loss of coverage. They lost it because they didn't pay their freaking bill. Why are they not on auto pay? I mean, I really couldn't tell you. Okay, so for you guys out there on the insurance side, this is what you've got to be aware of. Oh, well, before I even tell you that, let's look at the requirements, because you're like, well, they lost insurance. Okay, so let me share this with you here. Okay, let me find a document here I want to share with you. Okay, I will get to it. I'm getting close. Sorry about this, guys. Sometimes it's hard to find these specific documents that I'm looking for. Too many windows. Let's see here. Let's go to share again. I want to share my screen, and let's find this document. Here we go. Look at the document here that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, so one thing I want you to be aware of is look at some of the requirements, or if you want to submit proof that you did lose a coverage. First of all, it tells you here, the loss of qualifying health coverage can be no more than 60 days before you reported the loss. 90 days if it's Medicare or CHIP. Okay, the document must include the name, your name, and date of loss. You can submit more than one document, and these are what the documents are. They're called letters of credible coverage, and whoever you lost your insurance from can give you this letter. Okay, it's a letter from the insurance company, a letter from your employer on official letterhead. confirming that confirms that one of these about you or your spouse or family member. Your employer dropped or will drop coverage. Your employer stopped or will stop contributing to your coverage. Your employer changed. A letter from Cobra, okay, a letter from healthcare, from TRICARE, VA, Medicaid, Medicare, Medicaid. Okay, you can also submit one of these documents, but when you're submitting these documents, what you're doing is you are submitting proof that you lost coverage. So just because you lost coverage because you didn't pay your bill, the insurance company is not going to give you a loss of credible coverage to prove it. It's not going to happen. So make sure you're up to date on your bills because there's no more flexibility with this. You got to pay your health insurance premiums on time. You do get a grace period, but then you better get caught up. Okay, I'm just warning you guys. There's no way to get in. This family is a little screwed. Now, I can get them insurance during the open enrollment, but they're going to go the remainder of the year, all of September, all of October, all of November, all of December without insurance. Okay, all right. So be very, very aware of that. Now, deadlines. You've got to be aware of the deadlines that are out there. The biggest deadline that we have right now is open enrollment. The start of this enrollment is November the 1st, and the end is January the 15th. If you do not enroll during that time period, you are out of luck unless you have a true special election and you have proof of that special election. You're not going to be able to enroll. Okay. Ran into another scenario. I have a cancer center that I work with. Person found out they have cancer. They are diagnosed. They need treatment or they're going to die. And I will tell you this, guys. I can't insure them. Okay. It's not a possibility. Okay. The relaxation of the rules that I had were removed. And it's just not me, it's everybody, every agent out there. No agent can help you. The relaxation of the rules ended the end of August. So now we're early September. This person, in fact, this is the second one within a week that I get that needs health insurance. And they can't get a plan because they don't have a true loss of coverage. They've been without insurance all this time. Now they have a diagnosis. And of course, now they want insurance and they're out of luck. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just go to the emergency room, guys, I'm going to tell you this. One of them is doing that. One of them is going to the emergency room. And here's what's happening. Emergency room is treating. They're not even treating. They're making that person feel comfortable. It's a little graphic here, not graphic, but she has colorectal cancer. So she's bleeding from down below. Not a good thing. Okay, she goes to the hospital. Hospital just patches her up. Says, you got to go get treated for this cancer. The cancer centers are not treating her because she doesn't have insurance and no method to pay. She is stuck. And I'm like, I'll help you, but I've got to help you in November with an effective date of January 1. She's like, I'll probably be dead by then. And I wish I could do something. I really wish I could enroll in her plan. It's not going to happen. All right. So again, be very aware of the deadlines. Now, the other thing I'm going to share with you is you've got to make sure that your income that you're reporting to get subsidies. This is the assistance in the premiums. You need to make sure that the income that you're reporting is as accurate as possible. Now, for people that are under a W-2, it's pretty easy to predict. But for the rest of us that are self-employed, we don't know if we're going to have a good year or not. Okay? Our incomes go up and down based on sales or whatever we're doing. So I will tell you this, guys. You must try to report the most accurate income, and then you can update these incomes. Okay? If you feel that you're not going to be at this level, go report it. Or if you feel you're going to be at a higher level, report it. And here is why. Number one, what's going to happen in 2026 is two things are going to happen here, guys, and they're huge. There is a federal poverty level chart. In fact, I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to share it with you. I do not have the chart for 2026 yet, but we use the 2024 chart for 2026. Okay, So you are looking at this chart right now. Let me share it with you. Let me open this thing up. All right, here we go. Okay. You are now looking at the poverty chart. And what I want you to pay attention to here is this is the size of your family. If you are a husband and a wife with 2 kids, you are a household of 4. Okay. What is happening here? What's going to be happening in 2026 is if your income is $1 over this 400%, you go from getting help to no help. The way it is right now, and we're calling it the cliff, the ACA cliff. So think of a cliff. You're on top of a mountain, and you see the cliff where you fall down. Right now, in 2025, we don't have a cliff. We have a little rolling downhill. So as your income exceeds the 400%, the amount of help that you're getting just decreases gradually. In 2026, there's no gradual. It's $1 over and you fall straight down. And what I mean by you fall straight down is you go from getting help to no help. So you need to make sure that you are accurately reporting your income. Second thing, let's say that you decide to not report your income accurately so that you get help. Past couple of years, you had to pay some of that help back, but they had a cap on how much you could pay back. And it wasn't very much. Well, now there's no more cap. If you got help and you weren't supposed to, or you weren't supposed to get that much help, you're going to have to pay every single penny of it back when you file your taxes. And that is not going to be a good thing. So you need to be 100% prepared for that. So what can you do going forward? Okay. So number one is you need to connect with a good agent. That is number one. Connect with a good agent. Here's what I'm doing. You've got my name and my phone number down below. Okay. You got my email. Call, text, email. Get a hold of me. I will help you out. So you want to connect with a good agent that's going to help you apply the correct way so that you don't get into any financial liabilities with the IRS. So make sure you do that. The second thing that you're going to do, that you should be doing, is you now want to entertain other metal levels. You may want, if you have a silver plan, which is right in the middle, you may want to look at a gold plan. You may want to look at an expanded bronze plan. And there's a new plan that's coming out that we're going to get more details on that is more like a catastrophic plan. Right now, it's only available to people under 30. What's going to be available to everybody. We're going to get more news on that soon. And you're going to have to entertain these different plans, but you need to be aware of the exposure that you're going to be dealing with when you move to these different plans if you're hospitalized. And a good agent will explain that to you. And a good agent will offer you an alternative, or not an alternative, but maybe a supplemental plan to help you meet those obligations. Guys, in 2026, that out of pocket's going up to $10,000 and change. And that is per person. 2 people in your household have to meet that. If you don't have $10,000 sitting around, you may want to consider a supplemental plan. Okay, so be aware. Get with a good agent. Again, there's my number down below. You have my email, a cell number, and a text that you can call if you need help. So make sure you connect with a good agent. Make sure that you entertain the other metal levels. Also, you need to make sure that if this doesn't work for you, you may want to consider a short-term plan. Okay, that's another alternative that a good agent will offer you. Okay, a short-term plan is good and bad. Short-term plans, here's the bad. They do not cover any pre-existing conditions. So if you have a pre-existing condition that you need treatment on, you're not going to get coverage for it in a short-term plan. You're going to have to stick with Obamacare. Okay, so There's some other stuff going on with short-term plans that the agent you're going to deal with will explain to you. But that may be an option. And then there's a third option, which is a very unique option. And this is a non-insurance product called MediShare, which I currently use, but is designed for people who are super healthy, no pre-existings, no medications, and they make too much money to get any kind of assistance on the marketplace with Obamacare. Then this may be an option. Again, a good agent will explore some options. The worst thing that you can do is go without insurance. Having something is better than nothing. Having a bill of $10,000, well, that hurts, but you can get through it. But I just had a brother-in-law who went through a surgery. I'm trying to think of the name. It's something in his intestines. A couple of days in the hospital, ER, and in the hospital, they fixed him up. Guys, diverticulitis, that's what it was. The bill was over $140,000. Okay, it's really hard to come back from that. You can come back from $10,000. It's going to hurt, but it's doable. But try coming back from $140,000. Not going to happen. I mean, you're going to be paying for a long time. So make sure that you have something in place. Talk to a good agent. Make sure that they're discussing everything with you. Also, ask questions of the agent. How long have they been an agent? There's a lot of new ones that don't know what the heck they're doing. Ask them if they work from home. Professional agents like myself, we have an office that we work out of. I have a staff of 14 people. You've got a lot of agents out there they're just fly-by-night kind of agents. They work from home. Talk to a good agent. Check out their history. Go research their background. Make sure that they're not criminals. They give insurance license to criminals out there. Okay, and so you've got to be research your agent because, guys, you're going to have to give up a lot of financial information. Very, very detailed, sensitive information. Your date of birth, your socials, and your entire family socials. Make sure you're dealing with somebody who's reputable and somebody that you can go find when something goes wrong. Okay, now my agency is Simply Health Insurance Agency. Guys, I got me, my wife, my sister, her husband, and a staff of 10 more people, and we're in a professional office. I have a building that I own, and you can find us here 5 days a week. We get here about 8, and we leave about 6 or 7 most days. We're here. You want to come talk to us? We're available. Okay, try finding some of these agents that are working out of their house. They don't even share their address with you. Okay, so make sure you're dealing with somebody that's reputable. Again, if you need help, my information is down below. I would be glad to help you out with your renewal for 2026. Be prepared, guys. This is Luis Moreno, Simply Health Insurance Agency. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.